Pakistan versus India is always a special occasion. Even more so these days because it rarely happens more than once or twice a year. But back in the good old days, the two neighbours played a lot more frequently, except of course when they would be at war with each other. Now, everyone knows how India has dominated World Cup meetings between the two sides, but the overall ODI record favours Pakistan, who have won 73 out of their 135 meetings, while India have come out on top 57 times. Today, we're going to dive into the top 10 moments from this historic rivalry, going in a chronological manner and focusing exclusively on ODIs. Number 10. Javed Miandad 6 to win the Australasia Cup. With the overdose of T20s over the last decade, the value of a 6 today is significantly less than what it was 30 to 40 years ago. Back then, scoring rates were slower, the bats were smaller, and the boundaries were longer. None of this mattered to Javed Miandad though, often considered one of the pioneers of modern batting, especially with his aggressive running between the wickets. Miandad kept Pakistan in the game, chasing 247 in the 1986 Australasia Cup final, even as wickets continued to fall around him. Chetan Sharma came out to bowl the last over, having already picked up 2 wickets, and he would go on to pick up his third of his 4th delivery. The new batsman at the crease was Tausif Ahmed, and his instructions were simple: just run. And run he did, to get Miandad back on strike with 4 runs still to get off the final delivery. Everyone knows what happened next. Sharma went for the Yorker and instead delivered a full toss that Miandad dispatched to the stands, remaining not out on 116 of 114 deliveries and cementing his own status as a cricket legend forever. Number 9. The Saleem Malik Show in Kolkata. The following year saw another innings that was well ahead of its time. In the second ODI of Pakistan's 1987 tour of India, the visitors found themselves chasing 239 in 40 overs after Chris Shrikant's brilliant century. Saleem Malik walked in with the score reading 161 for 5, Pakistan still needing 79 runs to win. And after Imran Khan fell with the score reading 174 for 6, the Eden Gardens crowd thought the victory had been secured. Malik though had other ideas. He went on to bat with the tail, smashing 11 fours and a 6 to take Pakistan home in the last over with an unbeaten 72 off just 36 balls. The greatness of the innings can be judged by the fact that since he arrived at the crease, the other batsmen combined contributed just 6 runs of the 79 required. Number 8. Saeed Anwar's 194 in Chennai. There was a time in the 90s where Saeed Anwar's century-making exploits were on par with Sachin Tendulkar. His 20 centuries in ODIs still stand as Pakistan's most in the format. And in Chennai, he delivered his magnum opus, plundering 194 runs of 146 balls featuring 22 boundaries and 5 sixes to power Pakistan to a first innings total of 327. In the process, he beat the great Viv Richards' long-standing record of 189 not out that had stood for 13 years. He was only denied a double century by the Little Master himself, who would go on to become the first to achieve that honour 13 years later. Number 7. Wasim Akram's spell to win 1999 Sharjah Cup. Back in the 90s, triangular tournaments were all the rage, and one of the most prominent was the Sharjah Cup. In the 1999 edition, Pakistan and India met in the final after having secured 1 win apiece in their matches during the tournament that also featured England. Akram was known for turning it on when the lights were brightest, and this occasion was no different, as with just the 3rd delivery of the match, he would remove Sadakopan Ramesh before trapping the great Rahul Dravid LBW with the very next ball, leaving India at 0 for 2. He would go on to suffocate India's batters with 3 maiden overs, ultimately ending with figures of 3 for 11 as Pakistan comfortably chased down 125 to win the trophy. Number 6. Shahid Afridi smashes 2nd fastest century to win 2005 series. Pakistan's 2005 tour of India honestly deserves a dedicated video of its own, as Pakistan would come from 2-0 down to win the series 4-2. The 3rd match of the series saw Salman Butt score a century and Rana Naveed pick up 6 wickets, while in the 4th, Inzamam hit a last ball boundary to chase down 316 and level the series. But the fireworks were reserved for the 5th match of the series, where Shahid Afridi added to his legend at Kanpur, striking the 2nd fastest century at the time in a 45-ball blitz that would give Pakistan a historic series win in India. Afridi already held the record for the then fastest century in his first ever innings of just 37 balls back in 1996, a record that would stand for 18 years. Chasing a target of 250, Afridi would go on the attack, taking a special liking to Lakshmipati Balaji, who he hit for 26 runs of just 8 balls, including 3 sixes. He would spare no one, hitting 10 boundaries and 9 massive sixes in an innings for the ages on a pitch that had seemed to offer assistance to the bowlers. Number 5. Younis Khan's century in record chase at Mohali. Pakistan's 2007 tour of India was a closely fought affair, and the second match of the series featured a last-over thriller as Pakistan chased down their highest total against India. Batting first, India recovered from losing Sourav Ganguly in the first over to Shoaib Akram to post 321, with Sachin Tendulkar narrowly missing out on yet another century. In reply, Younis Khan scored a memorable 117 of 110 balls, featuring 9 fours and 2 sixes. No other Pakistani batter was able to cross 50, although Misbah-ul Haq did contribute an important 49, and it was left to Shahid Afridi to end the match in the final over with a 29-run cameo of 14 deliveries. Number 4. Shoaib Malik's century powers win in 2009 Champions Trophy. The 2009 Champions Trophy saw Pakistan eliminated into the semi-finals, but not before they beat India in a high-scoring match. Batting first, Pakistan put up 302, powered by Shoaib Malik's 128 of 126 balls. Malik walked in with Pakistan at 53 for 2, and by the time he fell, the score read 300. His innings featured 16 boundaries, and he found support at the other end through Mohammad Yusuf, who made 87. In India's reply, a young Mohammad Amir memorably picked up the key wicket of Sachin Tendulkar, and 2 runouts accounted for the rest of India's top 3, as Pakistan went on to win by 54 runs. Number 3. Junaid Khan and Nasir Jamshed lead Pakistan to 2013 series win. As of the making of this video, Pakistan's 2013 tour of India is still the last bilateral series played between the two sides. The first match of the series saw one of the most memorable spells ever bowled in an Indo-Pak series, as a fiery Junaid Khan ripped India's top order apart. His 4 for 35 included clean bowling Virat Kohli and Yuvraj Singh in the space of 3 deliveries before picking up Rohit Sharma later in the match. MS Dhoni would go on to score a century to push India's total to 227, but Nasir Jamshed's unbeaten 101 would be enough to take Pakistan home. Jamshed would score another century in the next match, and Junaid Khan would make it 3-3 versus Virat Kohli as Pakistan went on to win the series 2-1. Number 2. Boom Boom Afridi seals last over thriller at Dhaka. The 2014 Asia Cup encounter between Pakistan and India was the last real thriller in cricket's greatest rivalry, at least in ODIs. Batting first, India put up 245 on a turning pitch, with Rohit Sharma and Ravindra Jadeja getting 50s, while Saeed Anwar picked up 3 wickets. In reply, Pakistan were off to a good start, losing their first wicket with the scoreboard reading 71. But 2 crucial runouts would help India get back in the game. Shahid Afridi would find himself at the crease in the 45th over with 42 runs still to get, and Umar Gul for company at the other end. They managed to put on 32 runs before the 2 strikes from Bhuvneshwar Kumar in the 49th left Pakistan 8 down with 8 runs still to go. Ravichandran Ashwin had already picked up 2 wickets and got a run out to his name before he cleaned up Saeed Anwar with the first ball of the last over. Last man Junaid Khan managed to sneak a single to bring Afridi back on strike. Boom Boom would proceed to send Pakistani heart rate skyrocketing as he smashed the next 2 balls up in the air for what seemed like an eternity before they landed for 6 to seal a nail-biter at Dhaka. And number 1, Fakhr and Amir take Pakistan to Champions Trophy glory. And of course, at the top of the list, we have the match that every Pakistani fan revisits to forget the pain that comes with being a Pakistani cricket fan. What makes this win all the more remarkable is that Pakistan actually entered this tournament as the lowest ranked team at the time. A 124-run thrashing by India followed in their first match, with all of India's top 4 smashing 50s. Pakistan, though, would make one inspired change after this game that would change the course of their cricket history, dropping Ahmed Shahzad and handing a mid-tournament debut to Fakhr Zaman. Over the next 3 games, Fakhr would hit 138 runs, including 2 50s as Pakistan charged into the final for a rematch against India. And at the Oval, he would go on to write his name in history as he smashed an epic 114 of 106 deliveries, featuring 12 fours and 3 sixes in an innings for the ages. He was ably supported by Azhar Ali, Babar Azam and Mohammad Hafiz as Pakistan put up a massive 338 on the board. India's top order was the best in the world though, and they were in form. But if Fakhr Zaman had used the Champions Trophy to announce himself to the world, Mohammad Amir was using it as his personal redemption arc. In an iconic spell, he would remove Rohit, Kohli and Dhawan, ending with figures of 3 for 16 as Pakistan went on to lift their first ever Champions Trophy. And that's the list. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to like the video so YouTube can show us to more people. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then do hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time with more cricket tapes.